Some startups go up, others go down. Welcome to GeekWire's Elevator Pitch, where 3 entrepreneurs pitch their businesses in the 48 seconds it takes to get to the top of Seattle's first skyscraper, the Smith Tower. Over the course of 9 episodes, we'll narrow the field from 27 entrepreneurs to 1 winner. In this episode of Elevator Pitch, presented by Smartsheet, we'll hear from 3 startup founders as they pitch their emerging businesses to our panel of leading investors and entrepreneurs. T.A. McCann, a serial software entrepreneur, professional sailor, and managing director at Pioneer Square Labs. He sold his last company to Google and counts Rival IQ and more than a half dozen other startups to his name. Stephen Brandstetter, an angel investor and vice president at Smartsheet. He caught the entrepreneurial bug in college and sold his first startup to Active Network. Heather Redman, power broker and former Getty Images executive, who cuts deals as the managing director of venture capital firm Flying Fish Partners. Richard Tate, the motorcycle-riding Scotsman and mastermind behind the hit board game Cranium, who now stirs up new ideas inside Starbucks. The clock is ticking. Jump on board and ride with us on the elevator pitch and find out which entrepreneur has what it takes to make it to the top.
I'm Boaz Ashkenazy, and I'm the CEO of Simply Augmented. Welcome to Smith Tower. We're using augmented reality to improve the effectiveness of enterprise sales reps, specifically in industries where physical products are expensive and time-consuming to demo for clients. Sales executives consistently complain to us about the lack of product availability and the high cost of producing physical mock-ups. We solve these issues, improve customer engagement, and accelerate the sales cycle by enabling prospects to visualize AR in their environment in real time. We launched in 2018, and our enterprise sales platform is already in use by sales teams from 2 of the major furniture manufacturers, Herman Miller and Haworth.
How do you charge for the platform?
It's a subscription-based platform. It's per salesperson per month.
And what does the customer need? So you got the sales rep who's delivering this experience, but what does the customer on the other end need from a technology perspective?
All they need is an iPhone or an iPad.
Walk me through a scenario.
At the beginning of the scenario, we have manufacturers and we have dealers on both sides. And so in Herman Miller's case, the dealers are their sales team. They're spread out across the country. And we upload physical content to the platform. We optimize that content and turn it into 3D AR assets. Once those assets are in the library, salespeople can access that. They can create their own apps instantly, and then they deliver them to their customers with a text message. Customers drop those products into the world and they can experience them. And there are a variety of scales. They can be everything from a single chair to a workstation to a full environment.
And is it dependent on the type of product? Does it work better for physical products versus services?
Yeah, it works best for physical products because these are physical products that they're trying to sell into the environment. They're just hard to mock up. So oftentimes late in the sales cycle, they will, in order to close deals, they'll mock up full-size mock-ups. Sometimes they cost $10,000 to mock up and weeks to deliver. And so it's really increasing in the sales cycle when they...
And how do you measure success?
The ability for them to close deals faster.
What type of feedback have you been getting from your customers so far?
So far, they've been really excited. On one end, it's fun for them. A lot of sales executives will complain to us about early in the sales cycle not having enough engagement. Architecture and design is their audience that they're trying to reach out to. And there's a lot of competition for their eyeballs. And so being able to send something out that's kind of exciting and new is generating a lot of interest when they're prospecting. And then later in the sales cycle, they're able to deliver mock-ups and close deals faster.
So talk a little bit about the process of onboarding a customer. I mean, these are fast-moving new lines of product. What is the process, and is it self-serve? Do you have a vision to have it be self-serve? Talk about that.
Yeah, most of the process right now is self-serve. The only piece that's a little bit manual is us optimizing the 3D content. So oftentimes, with these furniture companies is a good example, in the manufacturing process, they have 3D already. It just needs to be cleaned and optimized. And so one of the moats that we're creating is being able to automate the optimization and the cleaning of those assets. But once they're in the cloud, everything else is self-serve.
Talk a little bit more about moat and lock-in of customers. Why do you guys not get out-competed by somebody else down the road with a wider customer net?
Yeah, I mean, in general, right now, we're just manically focused on these customers and on sales reps in particular. And then there's money out there that is being spent on finding these solutions. And so we're super committed to figuring it out for this group. And we see that a technological moat in two spots. One, in the ingestion of the products themselves, but two, just in the simplicity of the delivery. There's a lot of augmented reality in the world right now, but salespeople are a finicky group. And if it doesn't work for them the first time, they don't adopt. And so, I think one of our superpowers is really figuring out how to make this complex exchange very, very simple.
Outside of furniture sales, what are the next 2 or 3 industries you plan on going after?
So when we started this process, we piloted 5 different industries. And one of them was furniture, and those guys rose to the top. But we're talking to people in the medical equipment space, food service and equipment. We're looking at outdoor furnishing for hospitality, fireplaces, outdoor furnishing. And then we're also looking at merchandising, retail merchandising with displays.
What's the core competitive advantage?
I think right now the core competitive advantage is really understanding this customer base and being laser focused on figuring out how to create a very, very simple UX experience for them.
How does a sales rep create the environment to put the furniture in?
It's not necessary to create the environment because they're taking the objects and dropping them into their environment. And so it's not necessary to build out this environment. They just drop the objects right in front of their customers.
What I would have loved to have heard is, does it cut the sales time in half? Like, is there a productivity advantage? Are you, for a sales rep, are you making more commissions? Are you making more visits? Are you more compelling as a presenter? Like, what is the...
It's another form of brochure, right? I mean, so it doesn't sound that sexy in that way, but it's going to become sort of table stakes, I think.
Well, and almost like the products that we all use now with email and watching people look at our PowerPoints is the ability to add like a CRM type of layer, which is who looked at it, did they share it, how long, did they move anything around? So it would have been interesting to see that, which is above and beyond just the sort of visual presentation, but also the how does the customer really engage, and measuring that I think would be much more compelling for a salesperson.
Well,
how
and
long,
also
how many touches.
Can you sell it then back to the manufacturer, sort of what's the data, like nobody likes this couch, or this couch always gets swapped out for this couch. What does that mean? We always discourage businesses to rely on data. Monetization is their main strategy, but this one does seem like it has some ancillary revenue possibilities based on data.
Yeah, with all of the different things being sold to sales reps to increase their throughput, it's going to be hard to stand out. And to your point, it is a virtual brochure, and I'm not getting that element of the problem statement that they're solving.
I do love the focus on a specific audience, and as he described, really getting inside the head of the salesperson, designing a UX experience, and making sure from the soup to nuts that they really are focused on that customer. I like that a lot. But your question on what other markets are you looking at, I think is an interesting question just in terms of the growth of the business.